Greetings, loyal subjects. Today we discuss one of the most dastardly plans that is associated with Richard III. It's a strange tale of strawberries and beheadings. William Hastings, or the first Baron Hastings, was a very close friend of my grandfather, King Edward IV. He'd married Catherine Neville, the sister of the hugely influential Richard Neville, otherwise known as the Kingmaker. He'd been a loyal supporter of the House of York during the Wars of the Roses, and had risen up through the ranks to become Edward's Lord Chamberlain. After Edward died, the crown immediately passed to his young son, Edward, who became Edward V. He was the elder of the two princes in the Tower. As part of King Edward IV's will, his younger brother, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, would effectively become regent, Lord Protector, until his youngest son reached age and could rule the kingdom himself. However, Edward's widow, Elizabeth Woodville, had other ideas. She was highly suspicious of Richard, Duke of Gloucester. She wanted control of the young king herself. Richard lived up in Yorkshire. He actually held most of the north for his brother. William Hastings was down in London, and he was informing Richard of everything that the Woodvilles were doing to try and freeze him out. Richard burst into action. He headed south immediately and intercepted the young king with some of his Woodville uncles on the way down to London. He stopped them at Stony Stratford and took control of the young king and arrested the Woodvilles. They then marched into London and went to the Tower, allegedly to wait young Edward's coronation. This was indeed the tradition at the time, and nothing untoward at that stage was thought. Elizabeth Woodville was now very fearful of Richard. She headed to the safety of Westminster Abbey and claimed sanctuary. Throughout all this time, William Hastings was ultra loyal to Richard, Duke of Gloucester. He believed that Gloucester was acting in the terms of his old friend's will. He trusted Richard explicitly. However, on the 13th of June 1483, all of that was to change. Richard, Duke of Gloucester, sent Sir Thomas Howard over to William Hastings to ensure that he was in attendance at the council meeting in the White Tower that morning. The councillors were all seated in their seats around 9 a.m. Richard, Duke of Gloucester, arrived last. He was in a jovial mood, and he saw the Bishop of Ely around the table, and he asked him to go and get him some strawberries from the bishop's garden in London. He'd heard that these strawberries were fantastic at this time of the year. The bishop duly complied, and then Richard left the council chamber as they discussed the basic mundane business of state. He said he would return later when the subject of the young king's coronation was to be discussed. The bishop returned with his strawberries, and an hour and a half later, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, walked into the room in thunderous mood. He suddenly accused Hastings, the Bishop of Ely, and a number of other councillors of treason. And as Hastings was being taken out of the door by the soldiers that Gloucester had left outside, he told him that he should consult a priest because he wanted his head before dinner time. Dinner time was normally served around 11. Hastings immediately knew he had but minutes to live. What precisely happened next is unclear. There are some conflicting accounts. However, it's highly likely that William Hastings was dragged down the stairs of the White Tower, taken outside to the green, and there beheaded with a sword on a piece of timber that was about to be used to repair the tower. There was no court, no trial to say that Hastings was guilty. It was all decided by Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Why would Richard, Duke of Gloucester do this? Well, William Hastings was incredibly loyal to Edward IV. He wanted to see the terms of Edward's will take place. That's why he supported Gloucester in his role as Lord Protector. But Richard, Duke of Gloucester, had other plans. He planned on seizing the throne of England for himself, and he knew that Hastings would stand in his way. He knew that he was the most significant member of the council that would stand up against him. So Hastings had to be removed. Richard simply shouted treason and removed the man's head. A matter of weeks later, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, was in Westminster Abbey, being crowned King Richard III.